So here is the newly crowned world champion, the number 3 seed, Kento MOMOTA. Into his first ever final here at the Japan Open, and how dearly he would love to go one better than the only previous player from the host nation, Kenichi Tago, who contested the final in 2013. Khosit PHETPRADAB from Thailand, unseeded. And what an occasion for him. Prior to this Japan Open, he had never progressed past the quarter-final stage at this level of tournament. And here he is in the final. And I have to say, as he makes his way onto court, he did look a little nervous coming into the spotlight there, Steve.
Yeah, no doubt that this is a special occasion for him. And who can blame him for being a little bit tensed?
Well, it's always a special occasion on finals day, and I think with this magnificent arena, the whole setting, the whole razzmatazz before the finals were to get underway makes this extra special. This is the third meeting between the two players, as you briefly saw, and the previous two encounters were both won by Kento MOMOTA, but I'm not sure how much we should really pay attention to that, and I'm not sure whether it should really count in our stats, because they were both junior events, so they've not met at all in senior badminton. But this man celebrated his birthday just over 2 weeks ago. 1st of September, Kento MOMOTA turned 24 years of age. Well, I'm not quite sure. They don't seem to have any shuttles for the warm-up periods. I'm not sure why that would be. But as far as Kento MOMOTA is concerned, well, he's had an extraordinary time since his comeback from suspension. He was suspended on the 10th of April 2016 by his national federation for visiting an illegal casino. He made his return at the Canadian Grand Prix last year. Since then, he's played 15 tournaments. This is his 15th tournament since his return from suspension, and it's his 12th final. Absolutely extraordinary. So he was world number 2 before he got suspended. He's making his 6th appearance here at the Japan Open, but hasn't played for the last 2 years because of the suspension, and then of course his ranking was too low. But 5 finals already this year. This his 6th, and as you can see, he's got through to the final, beating 3 Danes, and also the 5-time finalist and 3-time winner, Lin Dan of China. He gave Lin Dan a masterclass. So the past master was given a masterclass by the new master. It really was extraordinary to watch. And then in the semi-final, beat last year's champion and last year's world champion, Victor Axelsen, in 2 straight games. So to his opponent, Khosit PHETPRADAB, 24 years of age, from the ancient city of Ayutthaya in Thailand. Has been as high as 19, that was 1 week at the end of June earlier this year. And as we saw, he's number 10 on the race to Guangzhou. This is quite clearly the biggest match of his life. But look at his path through to today's final. He's beaten the reigning All England champion, and he's beaten the reigning Olympic champion. The All England champion, Hsu Chi, the #2 seed in the first round. The Olympic champion, Chen Long, in the quarter-final stage. And yesterday against the unseeded Lee Dong-kyung. So he thoroughly deserves his place in the final. And of course, if PHETPRADAB were to win today's final, he would become the 14th different winner of a men's singles title at the 16th HSBC BWF World Tour event. And that really is extraordinary statistic as we look at our court officials. Two players, of course, have won 2 titles so far on the new World Tour. Hsu Chi's won 2, and so has Qiao Tianqian from Chinese Taipei. So trying to achieve history. Both men, one will definitely achieve history today.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Khosit PHETPRADAB, Thailand. And on my left, Kento MOMOTA, Japan. Kento MOMOTA to serve, level, play.
So the newly crowned world champion, Kento MOMOTA, getting the men's singles final underway, and I'm pretty certain that every single point that he wins will be loudly cheered by the home fans here. Good rally from PHETPRADAB. Well, as far as the Thai player is concerned, trying to become the first unseeded player to win the men's singles title here at the Japan Open for 9 years, since Bao Chunlai beat the #4 seed Taufik Hidayat in the 2009 final. Oh, that's right down the line.
2-1.
I have to say, Steen, I was very, very impressed with this man, PHETPRADAB, yesterday in his semi-final, when I caught glimpses of his match against Chen Long. Of course, I was commentating on another court, but I caught glimpses of it, and I've been very impressed by him this week.
It's really an amazing development by PHETPRADAB. He's only this year he's only won 7 matches on the World Tour prior to this tournament, and now he's won 4 straight.
That's delightful. Landing in front of the front service line, showing just what an acute angle it was. He's got lovely, lovely skills.
Service over. 3-0.
Must be something about Thai players, because we've talked about the women's singles players, especially Ratchanok Intanon, and their lovely, relaxed, easy hitting motion and the disguise they can generate from that easy-looking overhead action.
A lot of them have a rather playful playing style, so to speak.
Yeah. There's huge pressure on MOMOTA, isn't there? I mean, it's the newly crowned world champion. He's seeded, his opponent isn't, and of course he has the burden of expectation of the home fans as well.
Yeah. Immense pressure and an almost full stadium here.
Yeah. Well, it has a capacity of 10,000 spectators. There aren't many seats that are empty, I can assure you. Missed it. One thing I would say about PHETPRADAB yesterday, I thought towards the end of the second game he was beginning to look a little bit physically tired, but I have to say that it was his racket skills and his tactical awareness that saw him through.
It seems like he's played a little bit faster than his opponents in the matches leading up to this final here. And if you're sort of trying to raise the pace, it can be really draining. That's excellent.
Service over. 5-0.
Of course, there has been a player from Thailand in the men's singles final here at the Japan Open previously. That was 6 years ago. Bunsak Ponsana lost the final to Lee Chong-wei. It's going wide.
Service over. 6-5.
Yeah, simply can't afford errors on the return of serve like that. Not in major tournament finals.
Service over. 6-7.
Players from Thailand have actually won 2 titles here in Japan, both in mixed doubles.
Sutkit and Sara Lee, have they won?
They won in 2005,
Yeah.
but the last winners were in 2009. Songpong Anugrete won and Kunchela Vorovici Chaiko. Beaten a certain Danish pair in the final, if I remember correctly. It's going wide.
Yeah. There's one thing though regarding this year's edition of Japan Open. It has increased its level on the World Tour and is now a 750 tournament, which means that all the world's top players got to attend the tournament. Previously it was a Super Series, and it wasn't mandatory for all the best players, so some years the field was not as strong as it is this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
7-8.
But doesn't that just emphasize how well Khosit PHETPRADAB has done this year? Because all the world's best players were here, and he's come through to the finals, an unseeded player, and unheralded, really, prior to this tournament. I knew he was talented, but beating the reigning Olympic champion, reigning All-England champion. Well, in rallies like that, I can clearly see why. early stages of that rally. MOMOTA
9-8.
not using the back of his opponent's court at all. 31 shots.
And just getting back to PHETPRADAB's entry in today's final, I think it's clearly the most surprising finalist of the Super 750, Super 1000 tournaments this year.
10-8.
Are you talking just men's singles or across
all categories? I would say
that's interesting.
Inoue and Kaneko in Indonesia, Super 1000. That was a bit of a surprise as well. They were seeded, but this is, in my opinion, the most surprising final berth.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. 3-point advantage for the number 3 seed here at the mid-game interval.
Players on court.
So as the umpire asks the players to return to court, it's interesting that on the HSBC BWF World Tour as well, we've already had 5 men's singles champions who have not been seeded at the start of the tournament. And that shows just what strength in depth there is. Of course, the seeds are regularly doing well, but you've got a player like Khosit who can come through. He's got the talent. They're not the chasing bunch are very, very close to the top players.
Yeah. This will, of course, spark his self-confidence, and we might see him in other finals.
Yeah.
Just giving a little bit more time to think. I actually think also but they won the final, but it was actually also surprising that Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashino reached the mixed doubles final in the All England. That was also a big surprise. Let's see if he can emulate that.
It's a well-worked rally. Yeah, it's well taken. I know we're only halfway through the first game, Steve, but have you picked up any patterns so far? Anything that you've noticed tactically that we should be looking out for?
No, I haven't done that so far. It's basically gone the way I expected with MOMOTA ahead. We know that he plays a really solid basic game. He's had plenty of time practicing it this tournament. Oi.
In defence with full pirouette.
Service over. 9-12.
We know from earlier matches where we've seen MOMOTA that it's extremely important with patience and making the court big, so to speak, play with a lot of variation in your game, and also perhaps the most important thing, stay on balance so that you don't go all out in your attacking play, because if you do that, there's a big chance that MOMOTA will counter really solid in the defense. And
13-9.
I think it's important for PHETPRADAB to really be focused in the next couple of rallies so that his opponent doesn't run away.
Well left.
Service over. 10-13.
Goodness me.
That was an all or nothing shot, that
one. This round the head smash there. Yeah, going for the winner.
That's where he's got to realize before he hits the last shot that the opportunity's gone, and start all over. Just take the medicine and go back to playing 50-50 with MOMOTA instead of trying to invoke
14,
a
12.
miracle shot.
Just long.
It's well left.
Service over.
We've seen earlier this week that there's been a number of misjudgment on this near back line because of the drift in the stadium. There's been a slight drift alongside the court coming from PHETPRADAB towards Kento MOMOTA.
Wow, that was impressive. Movement back in court. Look at this, just gliding, leaps in the air. By the time he's landed, body weight coming forward. What a crisp smash as well.
Too much to win on the smash, and I don't think that was such a big opportunity as he deemed it to Khosit PHETPRADAB. We've seen throughout the week that it's not so easy to kill the shuttle from the back court. They're playing a little bit slow. Chance. That's a challenge.
Yeah. Yes, that was wide, sure.
Kento MOMOTA challenges call in.
First challenge of finals day. Here we go. What does Hawkeye say? Oh, Hawkeye says it caught the line. Very surprised by that.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. Service over. 14-16. Play.
He needed it. PHETPRADAB, he needed to win that point there. But again, terrible service error. In the long run, if he continues to go that sharp on the lines, there's going to be a lot of mistakes coming from him.
Rally. Missed it.
14. Khosit.
Longest rally of the match so far.
These shots there, the recovery shots.
Oh, yes. From MOMOTA.
Yeah, from MOMOTA, the shots where he's not really, in terms of movement, committing himself too much to the backcourt. He's just contending, letting the shuttle drop to just a little above shoulder height and place it with a fantastic shot into the front court. Doesn't cost any energy, doesn't open the court in any way. That is such an important shot for him, and he's so good at it. It makes it hard for the opponent to put him under pressure.
Game point opportunities. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. And the world champion, Kento MOMOTA, takes the opening game. 21-14 confirms the umpire. 22 minutes of play. Final shot, absolutely delightful.
Didn't win a point since the challenge and the service error following it. FETPRADAB.
Interesting.
That's a picture. FETPRADAB is getting a lot of cool spray on his right shoulder.
seconds. 20 seconds. Players on court.
So the players have had their advice from their coaches. And the fans here are absolutely delighted that Kento MOMOTA has taken the game, one game away from becoming the first male player from the host nation to win a title here at the Japan Open.
Level. Play.
Yeah, well played. Khosit, PHETPRADAB. I was saying that this is 15th tournament since he came back from suspension. 12th final, and I make it 92 matches since he came back from suspension, and only 5 losses. I think we can safely say MOMOTA has actually come back a better player.
Yeah, he has.
Service over. 1-0.
Came back hungry.
Yes.
Where a number of other players came off Olympic badminton. Often takes some time before you figure out what am I going to do now. Some have fulfilled their dream either by winning a medal or by participating, and some are sort of struggling and didn't get the result they wanted, and trying to recover. And then MOMOTA came in, came back in, and also accumulated lots of confidence, I think, playing these smaller tournaments. I mean, even though he knows that it's not players of the usual level he plays, it still gives you confidence winning matches.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Short. Yeah. Well, it was the next shot that did the damage, forced the short left. And I think, to be honest, Steen, I think an awful lot of players could learn from that. But under the new rules for the new HSBC BWF World Tour, as you were explaining earlier, the top players, the committed players, which is the top 15 in the singles and top 10 in the doubles, have to play a certain number of World Tour events, and therefore there isn't the opportunity to go and play some of the lower grade tournaments, the Super 300 tournaments, where they could build more confidence.
Actually, it can be more than 15 players, because it is counted twice a year who is top committed. So most likely there's a little exchange in top 10 to 15. So it's approximately, I would say, 20 players that would be top committed.
So they don't drop off ones that come off the top 15. They
could actually drop off. So I don't know what happens if you're top committed to play the tournaments, but you no longer have the ranking to do it. What will happen then? Do you get punished?
Yeah. We'll have to check the rule book.
Yeah.
3-0.
It's nice that the best players have to play, but it also creates some situations that are perhaps not as wanted, where players come and participate, but they're really not ready to play.
Yeah.
It's a little bit unclear on that point.
I don't know if there was hesitation about whether he should play it or not, but it seemed to take that rather late, which is probably why he made the error.
Just a few centimeters. It was short, that drop from PHETPRADAB, and had it gone over, I would have praised him, but too big a gamble in my opinion.
5-4.
Do you think it's a bit dangerous for PHETPRADAB to be clearing to the forehand side of the left-hander? There's a couple of times I've noticed he's played that quite delightfully, straight down the line.
Yeah.
And he has the option of going cross-court too.
Yeah, he has, but I don't like that PHETPRADAB is sort of staying in the middle. It's much, much more likely that he plays straight. So until he goes cross, cover the straight one, and then work really hard if a cross is played. Cover the most probable option.
Service over. 6-5.
We were talking earlier about the pressure that MOMOTA must be under, but I have to say that he's already proved himself mentally very tough. When you look at the number of finals he's been in, 18 previous finals, and he's won 16 of them. Only ever lost 2 finals from 18.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he was the key figure together with Kenichi Tago. When Japan won the Thomas Cup in 2014, he won all his matches, Kento Momota, and at crucial stages where the score was often 1-all. It was obvious that his match was pretty much the decisive match of the game. He really kept his composure well, and he's never ever lost a team match on a world stage. So that's impressive as well.
That's very impressive. So Thomas Cup, Sudirman Cup.
Never lost.
Never lost a match.
Thank you.
Amazing. That's 2 Thomas Cup campaigns?
2 Thomas Cup campaigns. And took his team to the final this year as well.
Yeah. And 1 Sudirman Cup campaign?
Yeah, he didn't play all the matches. It was, I think, Kenichi Tago who was the preferred player then.
Yeah.
Must have been in 15. Didn't play in 17, of course.
Yeah.
Service over. 6-8.
And right now he should be quite content, Momota. He should have a sense that barring something that we haven't seen yet, he's going to pull this off. I think we haven't seen anything from PHETPRADAB that suggests that he's capable of beating Kento Momota at the moment.
The swines. Yeah, good umpiring. Because Kento Momota looked at his coaches first before he challenged. You can't get advice of coaches as to whether to challenge or not. Good umpiring. Stephen Hall from Malaysia, our umpire. Just now. So you say that we haven't seen anything yet from PHETPRADAB. That's what should we be seeing if he wants? I mean, he can't suddenly produce new skills, but he's got a lot of skills anyway.
Yeah.
So tactically, should he be doing something differently?
Yeah, he got to do something differently, but I'm not sure he has the skills to hurt Momota here. One of the areas that we've seen players attack earlier on is the backhand, especially the backhand defense. So trying to work Momota on the back court, especially the distance, long backhand corner, short forehand corner, with some variations, but it has to be top quality shots, and there has to be some deceptions, because otherwise Momota will definitely pick up on it, and once in a while play some smashes, preferably cross smashes from his own forehand side back towards Momota's backhand side. I just don't see the quality that can hurt Momota. I think Momota can cope with what we've seen PHETPRADAB throw at him so far. So far it's been PHETPRADAB who's bailing out in the long rallies that we're seeing now.
Yeah.
This time, that was... he doesn't agree with my opinion, apparently.
Don't you just love it when the players prove us wrong?
No, I don't.
I love it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah,
it's very nice. Good shot.
Yeah. Yeah, well done, young man.
Thank you.
And of course, from another perspective, it's comforting that he's at 9-all here in the second game, and still in with a chance to take this game.
Service over. 10-9.
Yeah. Made his way forward with a good attacking play. And he has a 2-point advantage here in the second game, Kento MOMOTA. Drop shot, smash, second straight smash. And then forward for the kill.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
แจกลูกหลังอย่างเงี้ย
Players
อย่า
on
ไป
court.
อย่าไปรีบอย่าลอยคืนโชยปั๊บโดนล่อเลยล่อเป้าเลย
Kento.
นะมันทึกนะเสียแต้ม
Khosit. Eleven, 9. Play.
That's well played.
Yeah.
And one of the things here is he has the speed to follow up. This one thing is putting pressure on MOMOTA using the cross smashes. Most of the players does not have the speed to follow up like that.
Service over. 10-11.
Just before the mid-game interval,
10.
there was an error, not into the net, but pushed out the side. And I thought, you can't afford errors like that at this level. And that was another one.
Yeah.
So he's just played a brilliant rally. And then it's what I would describe as a soft rally. There isn't enough consistency within the match on the intensity.
No, the rallies where he loses points, he loses them too easy.
Yeah.
It's very rare you see, for instance, MOMOTA make errors like that. They might come sometimes, but that's normally when he's safely ahead. Or perhaps just in the beginning of the matches where players are sort of feeling each other's teeth. But it's going to be really interesting to see whether Khosit FETPRADAB, whether he can follow up on this performance here in Japan Open. But I'm not expecting him to follow up next week. I mean, this has been probably his best badminton week of his life. So next week, there's a big chance of an anticlimax. He's playing Victor Axelsen in the first round of China Open. Victor is left today. PHETPRADAB will come in a little bit late to China, so I don't expect him to follow up in the next week, but the next tournaments of this level here, that will be interesting to see if he can reproduce some of the game we've seen this week.
That's exactly what I was alluding to, a soft error.
Yes.
But that's, you just can't afford that at this level.
And he was at 9-9, 10-11, that looked fine. Now it's 14-10.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's so easy to get ahead of yourself, but basically the match is decided because, I mean, I can't remember seeing MOMOTA throw 4-point leads.
11, 14.
Yeah, perfect net shot.
And lucky, because it might as well have stayed on his own side, but you've got to play sharp to get the opportunities. Can't play safe all the time, then you will never get an advantage. And that's also what you mentioned, Jill, the shots that he make errors on his shots that are not going to win him any points.
No.
If you go for an attacking shot or a tight net shot, that can win you points. So you have to accept that once in a while there's errors, but transportation shots you cannot.
Oh, yeah, that's great placement of the smash from MOMOTA. I do find it very interesting, your comment, Steen, about will PHETPRADAB be able to build on this. I think that's the longest rally of this second game now. Because I thought that after he reached the final of the Southeast Asian Games in Kuala Lumpur last year, where he lost in the final, Jonathan Christie in the final, but we didn't really see it. But this is bigger. This is much bigger.
Much bigger
tournament.
And he's had some good victories on the road to this final. So this should definitely boost his self-confidence. No matter what happens in this final, he's had an excellent tournament.
Yeah. Going wide. Oh, he's taken it. Yeah, and I see your point now, Steen, because in that rally, there was nothing happening from the Thai player that was ever going to hurt MOMOTA. No. And in fact, it was MOMOTA who was commanding the rally and dictating the pace. I know they were clearing to each other, but it was more of a punch clear from the left-hander, which is more of a positive shot than what his opponent was doing, which was a higher clear.
Yeah, and one of the things you can try and look for watching the match at home is if someone breaks off from this clearing, who will have the most dangerous shot opportunity, the one with the punch clears or the one who's just sort of staying in it.
Late.
Can he keep his mental discipline after the longest rally of the match so far? PHETPRADAB. The answer is quite clear.
17-11.
I think that rally of 47 shots has
18,
actually probably
11.
broken PHETPRADAB, both mentally and physically.
Yeah.
3 points away from the title. Absolutely brilliant. Super angle.
An excellent shot distribution from MOMOTA. Explores all kinds of shots. Takes his opponent to all corners of the court. That's just amazing performance.
Players on court.
2 points away from making history.
19-11.
Becoming the first home player to win the men's singles title here at the Japan Open. Match point opportunities. And sadly, from PHETPRADAB's point of view, he really has fallen away
11.
in this second game. Kento MOMOTA takes the DAIHATSU YONEX Japan Open. The first home player to win the men's singles title here.
Match won by Kento MOMOTA, 21-14.
The first male player from Japan to win any title here at the Japan Open. Well, quite obvious that this is a very, very special moment for Kento MOMOTA. It was almost a bigger celebration than when he won the world title.
Yeah.
Delight and relief, I should think, but let's spare a thought for Khosit PHETPRADAB, who's had the most wonderful tournament here at the Japan Open. Beating the All England champion and the Olympic champion on his way through to the final.
DAIHATSU YONEX ジャパンオープン男子シングルスを制しました桃田賢斗選手です。おめでとうございます。3年ぶりの出場となったこの大会で初優勝を決めました。今のお気持ちをお聞かせください。
So it's been 3 years since you were away from the matches, and then finally you won this title. So can you share your feeling right now?
そうですね、3年前は本当に、この舞台に立つことすら、できないと思ってたんですけど、本当に周りの方々に支えられて、こういう自分が昔から憧れてた舞台で試合ができて、で皆さんの前で今日、自分の成長した姿を見てもらえたと思うので、今すごい嬉しい気持ちでいっぱいです。
Well, back 3 years ago, I never thought that I can stand right here on this stage. But then, thanks for all the support from everyone. Finally, I could win this title that I've ever dreamed about. And I was so glad that I can show you how I grew up as well. So thank you very much for all your support.
そして2年後 その同じ場所で東京オリンピックも行われます。その舞台で今回優勝できたこと、一つ大きな意味を持つのではないでしょうか。
And also because we are coming back here after 2 years for the Tokyo Olympics, so your winning this time around should be meaningful to you, isn't it?
そうですね、2年後、オリンピックがこの舞台で行われるということで、この大会で初めて開催された大会で優勝できたっていうのは、自分にとってすごい縁起がいい大会になりましたし、でも、来週また試合があるので、東京オリンピックは先は見ずに、自分ができることを、来週の試合で、また発揮していきたいなと思います。
Well, of course, we are coming back for Tokyo Olympics 2 years later, and this will be the first tournament ever that we are holding this game in here. So it is a good start for me. But next week, I am having another match. So yes, Tokyo Olympics is one big deal, but then I'm going to focus on my upcoming match. Thank you.
男子シングルス見事制しました桃田賢斗選手でした。おめでとうございます。
Once again, congratulations to Kento MOMOTA.
Well, very well spoken by the champion, and there is confirmation of how he won the 2018 DAIHATSU YONEX Japan Open. 21-14, 21-11 in 40 minutes. This the final rally, the moment of victory. The elation and the relief for MOMOTA, saying in his interview that this is one of the titles that he has dreamed about since he was a youngster. And I think that's true in most sports. I think athletes all want to win their home event, whether it's in tennis or golf or whatever sport you play.